Praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the elder apostle of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers that's pushing the word in truth and sincerity underneath the banner of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, throughout the four corners of the globe. And I'm just going to get right into it because Vocab Malone and John White, a so-called white, have been spewing false doctrines all over, you know. But it brings me to the time of remembrance in Ezra when Zerubbabel and Joshua, Josiah, you know, it's lucky if I'm not saying it right. But I'm going to read that verse 3. But Zerubbabel and Josiah and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them, Ye have nothing to do with us to build an house unto our power, but we ourselves together will build unto the Lord our power of Israel, which is Yahweh, as King Cyrus the king of Persia hath commanded us. Because that was during the time of after the captivity of Babylon, you know, when the Persian Empire took them down. Then I'm going to say, with that, this is the whole thing of Vocab Malone and John White's agenda. They want to build the spiritual house, David, aka of Yasharala, with the people of the Lord under false lies. They teach doctrine of inclusiveness, which is not pushed through the scriptures, because the scriptures push separation of nations to their own corners, and for a reason, because heathens are heathens, and Israel is a people unto themselves. So the scriptures have said. So that's the whole thing with inclusiveness, because they followed the verse of John 3:16. And brothers in the know already know that that word world in there is synonymous with the constellation, which means cosmos. Cosmos is synonymous with constellation, Salaki. And it's just for a separate group of people, you know. But going on to say that all people are not gathered with the nation of Israel, especially during this time right here, during the time of Ezra, 4 in verse 3. Because if you go on to read through the whole chapters, what happens is everybody that was adversary against Israel was trying to stop the rebuilding of the temple. You know, if you read the whole 4th chapter, going on, I want to go to Matthew's 15. Where it states that Yahweh Shai was sent. Only in verse 24 it says, but he answered and said, well, I'll start at 23. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she cries after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. You know, and he said that because it's only for the Israelites. So this woman that he was talking to in this verse right here is an Israelite, because he stopped and helped her. Then he goes on to say that the woman, O woman, great is thy faith, but it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. Why? Because she was an Israelite, but she lived in the land of, I forget the name of the land. The coast of Tyre and Sidon. That's where she lived at. But this woman was an Israelite. That's why he stopped and spoke to her. So they're trying to get into the inclusiveness doctrine through what they see in the scriptures, when Yahushua talks to this woman, or the woman at the well. And the woman at the well, which is look it up. Right here. Yahushua said unto the woman, Believe me that I will come in, and ye shall neither in this mount nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship, ye know not what we know, what we worship. For salvation of the Jews. And when he says that, he's talking about Israel, Israelites, because that word Jews goes back to Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, or Judah, Benjamin, and Levi during the Romans times, and they grouped us all together and called us Jews. That was the first time that they did that. But the hour cometh, and now is, where the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seek such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. And that's what Vocab Malone and John White and his followers, they're not going to do that, because they're trying to do the all-inclusive doctrine, which is wicked, you know. But that's all under the vise of, they know, you know, that the time is upon them. Like it says right here. Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And that's why that all-inclusive doctrine is coming up, because they're trying to seek coverage from the judgment, but all doors are locked, or they're being locked as we speak, as the true men of the Lord, prophets, keep on pushing this truth out. There's nowhere for them to run. There's nowhere to hide. So I hope this was edifying. Lord's will. I'll try to get better at this, But with that, I'm going to say shalom.